Oh, well, this is Mike at Your Car Dealer Bond. Just give me some more information about things that are really, really important to get clear on before you start the business. Number one, where's the inventory going to be stored at, and what type of lot protection exists at that location? So the reason here is if it's going to be kept sometimes at your home versus at your office because your office is too far from your home, let's say, or because you routinely bring vehicles home with you, you want to get real clear on that. I think right out of the gate, you want to have an understanding of where the inventory is going to be kept, and then what type of. So if you have an office where it's going to be, your inventory would be kept inside of a parking lot, let's say overnight, and you think it's way more safe to have that your inventory, you only have 1 to 2 vehicles at a time. It makes a lot more sense maybe to you to have those vehicles either in your garage or in your driveway. Maybe you're in a really nice neighborhood. Maybe your neighborhood's just a lot nicer than your office. Uh, Either way, whatever it is, you do want to clear on that. And it does matter if you have, let's say that you say, I'm going to bring vehicles home with me every night. That's where they're going to be stored. They're not going to be stored anywhere else but at my home. One of the questions that will come up is where are these, what kind of, are you keeping these vehicles in a garage 100% of the time? Or part of the time, is that vehicle going to be just in your driveway? Because if that's the case, they're going to rate you as you having that inventory in your driveway completely exposed 100% of the time. Some people say, well, I live in a gated community. Doesn't that matter? It actually doesn't, unfortunately. They feel that your neighbors all have access to that same driveway because they all live in the same gated community. And so at that point, they're looking at it as an unprotected vehicle. So they have higher deductibles on unprotected vehicles for things like theft. So instead of $1,000 deductible, which you may be able to get, your minimum deductible would be $2,500 if you're in an unprotected location. So that's the first thing that you want to get crystal clear on is where's your inventory going to be kept and what type of protection are you going to have around it. Next is how many vehicles a year do you think you're going to sell? This may not seem like a big deal to a lot of the mid-sized or even larger dealers, but if you're really small, going to start really small, potentially just have a couple of cars here and there, anything less than 4 vehicles a year that you're going to sell, the insurance company looks at like you're a hobby. This is just a hobby to you. And not a lot of insurance companies will insure a hobby dealer, is the reason why I'm saying this. So it's not really having anything to do with how much they're going to charge you. This is more, you have to know this anyway. Are you going to sell 2 cars a month? Are you going to sell 2 cars a year? Are you going to sell 2 cars a week? You really want to have that dialed in for your business model. But additionally, if that number's too low, the insurance company starts to think that this is not a real business to you. And if it's not a real business to you, you may not pay real close business attention to it. And this isn't the type of business where they like to insure those types of operations typically. So, and the companies that do, of course, they're going to charge you more for it. So the next thing is, are you going to be using your inventory for personal use? What this is talking about is if you're going to use that vehicle to go to Target at 10 o'clock at night, you got a family dinner on a Sunday evening, are you going in this vehicle or are you strictly doing business? You could say, Mike, I got to take it to test drive it. I got to take it to smog. I got to take it to potentially reset a sensor, drive this darn thing 250 miles on the course of business. What they're trying to nail down is if you're going to be using that vehicle for personal use, they're going to probably pop you for $700 to $800 a year more. Reason why is because they believe that you're going to sell your personal vehicles, you're going to dissolve your personal insurance, and then they're going to be on the hook for you day and night, whether you split to Vegas this weekend, Carlsbad, you name it, Monterey, you're going on their dime, if you will. They're their insurance policy to pick up the claims. And of course, they're trying to charge you a little bit of money to do that. I do have a fair amount of dealers that is part of their model, is they're trying to get that insurance cost that they're paying with post-tax dollars. They're trying to put that in as a business expense legally. You sell those personal vehicles, make sure your wife is added to the policy, and then, you move around the inventory as needed. Next thing is how many vehicles are going to be in your inventory at one given time. You can have 1 to 2, you're going to have 2 to 4, you're going to have 10 to 20. Get real clear on that right out of the gate. Some of these dealers that'll call me, they need insurance for either their landlord, for Next Gear, Westlake, flooring companies, what have you, or they just realize that, hey, I'm going to be moving around vehicles, I'm offering test drives on these vehicles, I need insurance. One reason or another, by the time I talk to them, they may still not know how many vehicles they're going to have in inventory at once. So definitely get clear on that. Definitely also get clear on what the most expensive vehicle in your inventory is going to be. That's your cost. This is not what you're going to sell it for. What's the most expensive? This includes your recon as well. So any recondition that you put into this vehicle, if you put in $2,000 into a vehicle that you bought for $8,000, we're going to call that 10 total. So 10 grand total. Get real clear whether it's 5, 10, 15, 20, you name the number. Up to about 75 grand, you're probably in decent shape where everybody will still insure you. Above that, there really starts to taper off some of these companies that won't do it. And then their total inventory limit is if you're going to have a couple of vehicles here and there at, let's say, a smaller amount. Of course, everybody's going to have an average value, and then they're going to go to the top, right, of what they would have. So if they have a bunch of $10,000 cars laying around, let's say 2 or 3 that they're going to sell, and then they're going to sell one $40,000 vehicle, bundle it all up, top line limit there of inventory, what you're going to have at any one given time. The last one I'll give you is your dealer plates. And a lot of dealers will say, geez, what are the dealer plates? I know that the DMV is really banging you over the head about your dealer plates, what you can do with them, how you can use them, who can use them, all this other stuff. The insurance companies, not all that strict about it. In fact, I have a lot of dealers asking me, well, dealer plate insurance, Mike, all I need is this one dealer plate covered, and just give me that. That's all I need. It's not all you need. For one. For two, I would disconnect the idea of the coverage applying only to that dealer plate. If you got a dealer plate on that vehicle you just bought and it gets stolen, either way, if it's covered, it's covered. Doesn't matter if it's got the plate on there or not. So that's number one. Number two, your dealer plates are much less used, again, for rate purposes. They do rate you maybe $40 a plate, but it's much less about that. It's much more about your plate to personnel number. So they've got to look at that ratio. If you've got too many plates for how many employees you have, they're going to start thinking, why does this guy, he's a one-man operation and he's got 6 plates. Why is that? And they're going to start wondering, does this guy rent out these plates to people? What kind of shenanigans is he doing? And some companies just completely have it in their guidelines that they won't insure you if you're over a 4-to-1 ratio or a 3-to-1 ratio. So as much as in the beginning you're thinking, wow, sky's the limit here. It's only costing me, I don't know how much it is these days, $100, $150 a plate. It's not that much. I'll just get 5 or 6 or 10 for that matter. And I've had this actually happen where one of my dealers had literally 10 business dealer plates, and he only had 2 people working in the operation, him and one other. So he had one heck of a time getting insurance because nobody wanted to do it. So just keep that in the back of your mind. If your dealer plate to employee ratio is a little bit too high, more than 3-to-1, more than 4-to-1, that might significantly cost you more because now it's maybe taking off the table 2 or 3 of the companies that would have been the least expensive for you. And now we're going with 5th, 6th, 7th options as opposed to really who would be the most natural, organic option for you. Anyway, this is Mike at Your Car Dealer Bond. I just wanted to kind of break down some of the things that I see some of the things that might be helpful to you that are starting and getting into the business or have been in the business a year or two and still may not have crystal clarity on this, may not have insurance, or potentially if your insurance is coming up for expiration, we'd love to help you. I'd love to be able to help craft an insurance policy for you that would fit, that would meet your needs as well as, kind of fit the budget is probably the most important these days. But also, the first thing I tell a lot of my dealers is, last thing I want for you is for us to sell you a policy that's going to cost you potentially thousands of dollars, and then you end up with an uncovered claim for some reason because you didn't understand how something worked. You didn't understand there was a potential coverage that would have offered you coverage, and you just never knew it existed, or maybe you just weren't explained how certain penalties work. That's the reason why I want to really put a lot of this content out there. And of course, I'd love to help you dial in what these numbers should look like for your particular dealership on your dealer insurance, whether you're expiring, whether you're in a non-admitted market right now and trying to move to the admitted market. I definitely can segue you into the admitted market. I can also help kind of chip off some of the coverages that a lot of other companies will try to sell you that you don't need, that you're never going to have a claim on. Because I worked for an insurance company for 18 years. I was in charge of the claims and their legal department because I was a director of all their operations nationwide for all the commercial products. So this was one of my marquee products. And before any claim over $5,000 ever got paid, I was informed of it first. And I would have my 2 cents on whether it should get paid or whether we should pay it for more or less, that type of thing. So I've seen a slew of things that dealers are going to get screwed over. The insurance company is going to nickel and dime you, or they're going to completely exclude your coverages and say that, hey, this doesn't even apply because of X, Y, or Z. That's what I'm trying to really bring to the table for a lot of my dealers. And if we can help, by all means, our number to get a hold of us is 866-357-4405. Again, 866-357-4405, or our website is cal-surety, surety.com, cal-surety.com. I'll put it in here. It'll be in the description too. But that'll get you over to our website. We can help you with your surety bond. We can help you bundle it with your insurance. We'll knock off some of the fees on it to the extent that we, of course, can. A lot of these policies, they're, of course, going to be different than your surety bond. They're not even the same companies that'll do it. But we want to help you bundle everything, make it easy on you, really understand your business so that we could tailor a policy that's covering your business to the extent that you deserve it covered. And again, this is Mike from Your Car Dealer Bond. I appreciate you hanging in there. And by all means, you let us know, we can help.
Bounce.